Once upon a time, in an ancient land far, far away, there lived a woman called Mulan. One day, Mulan had to awake early. She was going to become a bride. She longed to make her family happy. Her father prayed every day that Mulan would make their ancestors proud. Mulan said, "Don't worry, father, I will not let you down." At that, Mulan travelled into town on her horse, Khan. When she arrived, her family urged her to get ready. They helped her to bathe, washed her hair, and prepared her clothes. When they finished, they admired her and said, "You look beautiful." But when it was time for Mulan to be scrutinized to see if she would be a good bride, she didn't feel like she was. Mulan's dad just wanted her to be happy. A few minutes later, after she had returned home, the guard banged the drums as men on horses approached their home. They wanted to recruit for the army. They called out men's names, and Mulan's father's name was one of them. Mulan was sad to hear her father's name being called and tried to stop him. But her father was cross and said with disappointment, "Mulan, you dishonor me." Mulan's mother and her grandmother were also worried. Mulan cried because she didn't want him to go. Mulan devised a plan. Whilst her parents were asleep, she got to work. She prayed, prepared herself, and picked up her father's parchment. She sliced her hair, placed her father's armor on, and began her journey with Khan. After Mulan had disappeared, her grandmother prayed to their ancestors. They appeared and thought about what they could do. Mushu, the petite dragon, was demanded to summon the stone dragon, but he was unable to, so took on the mission independently. Meanwhile, Mulan arrived in the village. She hoped to take her father's place in the army. She tried to practice being a soldier. Suddenly, Mushu appeared. He announced, "I have been sent by your ancestors to help you." Mulan was astonished and asked, "Who are you?" Mushu emerged and expressed, "I am the most powerful, the most destructible. Mushu." Mulan was surprised at his height, but Mushu assured her that he could help. When they arrived at the camp, Mulan felt out of place and didn't know if she could maintain the disguise. She caused unintentional mishap along the way. The general's son, Li Shang, wasn't happy and said, "I don't need anyone causing trouble in my camp." Mulan apologized and he demanded to know her name. She said in a deep voice, My name is, Ping." The captain demanded to see her parchment and punished the camp due to her actions. She was not popular. The next day, the captain continued to train the warriors. The Emperor's council was not pleased with the warriors' progress and was keen to send his report out to the Emperor. The captain was annoyed. Mushu and Mulan were too. "This guy's messing with my plan," Mushu insisted. Mulan praised Li Shang for being a good captain. He heard and walked away. The next day, the warriors sought after the captain's father and the rest of the army. The land was desolate. They searched for survivors, but found that they had been defeated. The captain was distraught. Suddenly, the warriors were under attack. Mulan had a plan, and she aimed the missile into the peak of the snowy mountain. An avalanche appeared. The enemy, Shan Yu, was shocked. The avalanche approached speedily and covered the men. The captain's army hid and were saved. They were grateful. Li Shang thanked Mulan. "Thank you, Ping. You saved my life." But Mulan was injured. During the recovery, they discovered that Mulan was really a woman in disguise. The captain was disappointed. The Emperor's council threw her out. "A woman!" he revealed angrily. Everyone was stunned. Mulan explained why she had disguised herself as Ping, but the counselor and Li Shang were not impressed. They left Mulan alone and continued on with the soldiers. Mulan said, "I should never have left home." In the meantime, Shan Yu's falcons swooped over the snow, and Shan Yu and some of his men arose. But Mulan saw, and Mulan heard. Shan Yu set off for the city requiring revenge. There were celebrations in the city for the return of the soldiers. Mulan was determined to speak to Li Shang to warn him about Shan Yu, but he didn't believe her after she had lied about being Ping. All of a sudden, Shan Yu appeared, and his men took the emperor away. Mulan thought of an idea and ran after them. They all dressed up. When Shan Yu was with the emperor, he was cross and said, "I'm getting tired of your arrogance, old man. Bow to me." But the emperor said wisely, "No matter how the wind howls, the mountain cannot bow to it." Shan Yu was furious. Li Shang came to the rescue, and Mulan told one of the men to escape with the emperor. Shan Yu was angry and found out that Mulan was the soldier that had caused the avalanche. She fled up to the roof, but Shan Yu followed her. Mushu saw and fired the missile determinedly. Shan Yu was sent soaring away. Mushu was ecstatic. Fireworks filled the skies. The emperor explained everything to Mulan. He knew what had happened, but was immensely proud that she had saved the entire kingdom. The emperor and the kingdom bowed to Mulan for her bravery. He said, "You can be a member of my council." But Mulan wanted to return home. The emperor gave her a medallion and a sword to remember what she had done for China. Li Shang praised her and said, "You, fight good." Mulan said, "Thank you." She then ushered Khan to return home. The emperor advised Li Shang, "You don't meet a girl like that every dynasty." At that, the emperor exited, and Li Shang watched as Mulan departed. Mulan's father was still upset that Mulan had left. When she returned, she gave him the sword and the medallion. "These are to honor our family father." But Mulan's dad put them down and gave her a big hug. "The greatest gift and honor is having you for a daughter." All of a sudden, Li Shang turned up and asked, "Excuse me, does Mulan live here?" Mulan's mother and grandmother were happily taken aback and pointed to where she was. He returned the helmet, and Mulan asked if he would like to stay for dinner. He agreed. Mushu and Mulan's ancestors were over the moon as they watched from afar and had a party. They all lived happily ever after. The end.